Right, right.
Yes.
Hey, everybody, this is the lovely Naeem Jet and the handsome Eva, or should we
What?
say the other way around? I can't be lovely? Like, why can't I be
No,
lovely?
no,
No?
you guys are
All
not
right.
lovely. Well, actually,
All
you
right.
can be lovely too. Yes.
Okay.
Why
All
not?
right. All right. I didn't put any cream on my face this morning, so I don't know. Okay. Anyways,
You look
this
just
is,
fine.
yeah, there you go. All right.
Of course, you
Anyways,
just rolled out of bed, right?
I just rolled out of bed because I'm on the other side of the world,
Exactly.
opposite, exactly 12 hours ahead of New York. But
Mhm.
hey, why 99% of Amazon dropshippers fail? We're going to be talking about that in this video. We have some
Mhm.
critical things that we're going to be covering, and then after we cover that, we're going to get into a little bit of Q&A. So if you guys have questions, as always, go ahead and comment, and Eva and I will attack them and do our best to give you our
Opinions.
valued our opinions, and based on based on having sold a little bit of drop shipping. We've done a little bit of drop shipping.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe
little.
a little $50 million worth of drop
Yeah.
shipping, a little bit.
Plus, at this point, it's a lot more than that. So yeah.
Oh, right, there you
Yeah.
go. All right, okay guys, so strap in. This is going to be exciting, and let's go ahead and jump in. So I'll just start with a little opening kind of summary to set the understanding and the framework of why it's important that you understand these mistakes, because you want to avoid them. Now, in Eva's experience, my experience, our partnership experience, we have had tremendous losses. That's one of the things that people don't understand, is they're like, well, I get into a business, if I follow the rules and I do this and I do that, then what's the problem? I'm smart, I have a degree or whatever, I can avoid the mistakes because I just follow the rules. Well, you know who said that? The CEO of Nokia. He said that.
Oh,
And yeah,
ouch.
and where's Nokia
Here we
today?
are. I don't know.
Nokia used to be the number one
Yeah.
phone player in the world, a cell phone player, and they're still around. But nobody talks about getting a brand new Nokia,
No.
right? So you can't just follow the rules. You have to avoid the mistakes. You have to have some context of what to do in the future, et cetera, et cetera. And so that's what we're hoping to share with you, is some of the context of what mistakes to avoid, plus what to do right. You have to have both.
Yeah.
So having said that, let's go ahead and get started. We've got 8 points that we think are critical based on us looking back at our 5+ years of drop shipping, and based on selling over $50 million in drop shipping on Amazon, and the experience of our managers and our teams of 50+ people. So we're going to bring all that knowledge to you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in with number 1. Eva?
All right. That's going to sound kind of counter intuitive, because all we talk about is drop shipping, right? So drop ship, drop ship, drop ship.
Right.
And the very first step for when you are starting out, for a beginner, is basically do not attempt to drop ship from day one. Not don't drop shit either, but
hold on. What did you say there?
drop ship.
I think we have a new T-shirt.
I know, right?
I think we have a new T-shirt design.
That's a good idea. I like that.
Yeah, don't drop shit. Drop shit.
Exactly.
Okay.
See, I can come up with stuff on the whim.
Right. There you go. There you go.
Do not attempt to drop ship from day one. We tell you that because if you do, Amazon might ask you for receipts right at the first day or the first week, and then what are you gonna do? Because drop shipping is not really allowed by Amazon. It's kind of frowned upon. They will allow you to do it because we have been doing it, and a lot of people are doing it. Millions of people are doing it, so we know it's done. Obviously, but you have to prove to Amazon at first that you are a serious seller, and they love FBA. So basically, we tell you for at least the first 90 days is do not attempt to drop ship by any means. So that's number 1.
Number 2 is focus on finding. So as Eva said, don't drop ship immediately.
Mhm.
So what you do instead is you get into FBA. So a lot of people just go drop ship. So don't drop ship. Don't do OA. Don't do all this stuff. Just do FBA. And the reason why is, and a lot of people don't do this, so that's the mistake. The reason why you want to do FBA is because Amazon loves FBA. It's extra revenue for Amazon. So you're sending products to the Amazon warehouse. And we talk about that during the magic 90-day period. There's no written rules that actually say that there's 90-day maturity period, but all mature sellers know that based on experience. So for 90 days, you want to send in your products via FBA and let Amazon collect some extra fees. They make more money because they're warehousing the products.
Yeah,
it's a higher fee. You pay more, but that's the cost of doing Amazon drop shipping or business e-commerce with Amazon. It's the investment that you're putting in. So the second mistake is a lot of new sellers forget about doing FBA for the first 90 days. That 90 days is critical. So you want to avoid that, and you want to do that properly.
Yeah. And then number 3 is basically, when you think about selling on Amazon, obviously, what is the goal? To profit, right? So we all want to make money, but there is a cost of business. And in this case, number 3 point we want to make is that in the first 90 days, which we call the magic 90-day period, the goal is not to make profit. And I know, again, that's going to sound very counterintuitive, but it's the goal for the 90-day period is to mature your account. Now, so when you're searching for products, that would be selling on Amazon. So because the goal is you need to ship in products to FBA and then make sure that those products are good products that they will sell right away. But of course you can find products that you can profit on, but the goal simply is to mature the account, and it doesn't matter if you are not profiting at that point, because that is not the goal at all. So just find a lot of products, ship them into FBA, and make sure those products sell so that your account is getting matured in that 90-day period. So that's the number 3.
Number 4 is understanding the finances or the costs of doing business with Amazon. So a lot of people, they look at the cost of the Amazon fee, and that's what they get fixated on. It's like, well, as long as I take care of my cost and my Amazon fee, I'm all good. But you have to understand that there's additional fees. So if you're doing FBA, your Amazon fee is not 15%. It's closer to 30% because there's a selling fee, there's a shipping fee, there's all kinds of things. You have to think about returns, because returns is part of the e-commerce model. There's going to be returns, so there's a bit of a loss there. You have to think about A to Z claims, and these are things that can happen. Now, the good news is these are exceptions. Fortunately, the majority of your e-commerce experience is going to be orders being fulfilled, going out without any kind of issues. But these other issues do prop up. So it's not 15%, it's 15 plus some returns, et cetera, et cetera. It's probably closer to about 20, maybe 25% that you have to think about in the dropshipping world. So understanding your financial model as you get into it is critical, and you do that based on experience, based on taking our course, based on just understanding what typically happens in an e-commerce business.
Yeah, but with that said, typically for the we want to touch base on this, because the typical fee when you are going through FBA, and the way you want to calculate your profits for that is you take the Amazon sales price and then deduct 30%, because average fee from Amazon is going to be 30% of the sales price, and then minus your cost of goods from that, and then what is your profit, right? So that's how you want to adjust it. Now, when you do drop shipping, it's Amazon sales price minus about roughly 15%. That's about the average for when you are fulfilling by merchant. And then you deduct your cost of goods, and then you get to your profit level once again. So that's kind of how you calculate it. Now, there is an Amazon profit calculator that you can check out, actually, and maybe Naeem can post a link to that below the video at some point
Sure.
after the video, I guess.
Yep.
So that's actually our number 5 point here, is that you are able to calculate all of that just through that website that Amazon provides for sellers. So that's a pretty good tool to have.
All right. And again, the mistake here is that you're not calculating properly. You're just jumping in, and so understanding your numbers there.
Yeah.
Number 6 is understanding where to source from. And the mistake a lot of people make is that they watch a video on YouTube, and all of a sudden they're sourcing from eBay or from Alibaba, AliExpress, and they're trying to sell on Amazon, and and they're missing the mark because AliExpress has ridiculous delay times, even with their parcel post, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of issues. So not understanding where to source from is the big issue, big mistake many new sellers make. And so what we teach is, and we've got a lot of videos on this, what we teach is to focus on US. Keep it in the US because your delivery times are much, much faster. The number one online source that you're going to get the most business from, hands down, okay, we do over 90% of our business from this retailer, is Walmart.com. And then there's Home Depot and Costco and Target and Sam's Club and literally thousands of other specialty stores. But I'm telling you, Walmart is where you're going to get the majority of your business, and that's where we see so much success. It's because of the abundance of products. It's because of the cost, the low cost, et cetera. We're not saying you're not going to see success from these other sources. A lot of people do very well in these other sources. But as a starter, as a new seller, don't make the mistake of shooting at the wrong target in terms of sourcing. So start with Walmart.com and source from there and sell on Amazon. That's your easiest and best bet as a starting new seller.
Yeah. Now, I would also add to that is that you might look for some obscure sources as well, because the more obscure they are, the better chance that there are other not too many sellers are selling their products. So, but when you're looking for other vendors that are not as easily sourced from, what I would recommend and what we recommend is that make sure that you are going to check their shipping policy, their return policy, refund policy, because you need to make sure that it will, well, that goes for drop shipping mainly, but in this case, if you're doing FBA first, I guess it doesn't really matter. So, but you just want to make sure that they have good policy in case you need to return items in that respect. But number 7 is, I guess we wanted to share with you guys, what makes a good product? Because that's the $1 million question, right? When you're thinking, okay, I'm going to go ahead and start my maturing my account, and but what do I find? How do I find those items? So we already told you, how to look at your profit calculation. We told you even the sources, which Naeem just mentioned a couple of the sources. And then now what you need to know is, how do you what are the criteria for a good product? So we basically wanted to touch base on 5 different attributes that we use when we are looking for a good product. And basically in Amazon, there is something called the bestseller rank, BSR. And you have to, what we recommend for FBA is, the lower the BSR, the better, the fastest selling a product is. So stay below 50,000, BSR. So that's number 1. So stay below 50,000 BSR. And basically, as we mentioned earlier, the profit doesn't really matter. But obviously you would like to recoup at least your cost of goods. So do use the FBA calculator that we referred to, and Naeem is going to post later. And so just make sure that at least your cost of goods is covered, or you're not, losing a lot of money anyway.
Right.
Then the other criteria we use is that you don't want to get an oversized item. Don't get a broom, don't get a mattress. You have to remember, these items would be best if they were lighter, and they would be about a shoebox size as the biggest, because you are going to have to prep these items, put them in a box, and then ship them into Amazon's fulfillment warehouses, right? So it's gonna cost you money to ship it in, so that's also part of your cost of goods. So you want to make sure that that item is small and it's light, because then it's not going to cost you too much to ship it in. So that's number 3. And we advise you not to do any electronics in the beginning. Actually, we always advise not to do a whole lot of electronics. You can do some, but not TVs and computers and things like that, because those are never good to, work with. And we recommend not. Yeah, exactly.
A lot of returns on those. Yeah.
Exactly. We recommend no clothing, no shoes, or breakables, because clothing people return, shoes people return, and breakables can break. So there you go. So don't do those either. And the other last recommendation we have is, when you start a brand new store, you are going to be gated, which means that you can only sell in certain categories. Okay, and if you want to sell in other categories, you actually need to get an approval from Amazon to get ungated per se. And so we recommend that you start with kitchen, because kitchen is typically open. You can sell babies items. I forget a couple of other categories, but kitchen is the best and the safest. And look, Q4 is coming up. People are buying gifts, so kitchen is a perfect one. So focus on kitchen, right? And there is a couple of other categories that you can focus on too, but typically you will be gated, so you will need to start with, just the categories that you can sell in. So that's the other thing.
Yeah, and I would say household. Essential. So kitchen, household, backyard, anything around the house that are essential.
Right. Yes.
They're consistent. You're going to sell those all day long. All right. And then the number 8, the last item, which a lot of new sellers make a mistake is, and they really get themselves into trouble sometimes by having their account put on temporary hold, is they will list a product that they are not necessarily approved for in the category. And that's super, super critical. So, for example, you shouldn't list anything in the electronics category because you're not approved for it. Electronics is not one of those things that is necessarily open to all new sellers. So you have to make sure that you understand which category you're approved for on Amazon before you go and list it. And you can see that in Seller Central when you go in, or you can call support. They'll tell you where to find it. So just make sure that you don't start off on the wrong foot and get yourself into trouble by listing in the wrong category.
Right.
So guys, those are the 8 big mistakes that we see where, again, so many people just run into a brick wall and they have a lot of issues with this. But as long as you can understand these 8 things, let's do a quick summary of them. Eva, do you want to just run down the list really quick?
I just closed mine.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I'll go through it. So number 1, you don't start drop shipping on day 1. That's a big no-no. Amazon doesn't like it. Number 2, so you start with FBA, send in your products. That's number 1. Number 2, make sure you are doing FBA properly and that you understand the FBA model and exactly how that works. Number 3, understand your metrics, your goal, your finances, your fees, etc. Number 4, number 3 was you have to mature the account. It's the 90-day period that we talked about. Number 4 is understand your costs, your total costs and your fees. Number 5 is using the Amazon free fee calculator, which I'm going to post. You can understand those exact numbers so you know what your business model looks like. Number 6. Number 6 is source from Walmart in the beginning. Don't go to Alibaba, AliExpress, etc. Number 7 is understand the attributes of how to source your FBA product properly. And those are the 5 things that Eva mentioned. So number 1 is rank should be 50,000 or less. Don't look at profit on those. As long as you break even, you're fine. Number 3, make sure it's not oversized. So don't go sell a piano. Sell something simple, cheap, that fits in a shoebox and get it out the door. Number 4 is no electronics, clothing, shoes, or breakables. Number 5 is make sure that you are ungated for that category. Okay, and then 8 is make sure that you understand which categories you are approved for, and you can find that in Seller Central. Okay, so hopefully you guys got a lot of good information out of this. And we have a couple of questions, and let's see here. We're going to get into this. Let's see here.
I'm not sure the first one. Do you have a method to deal with this for drop shipping? Not sure what that is regarding.
Yeah, I think we've covered that. I'm not quite sure what that means. How do you do you have a method to deal with this for drop shipping? So like we said, start with FBA and then mature that into for 90 days and then get into drop shipping after that. All right. The next question we have here looks very, very interesting. Let me pop this on the screen here. That's a long question. Okay.
Yeah.
So our inspiring leader, Naeem Jut, has all the time in the world to post a video about semi-successful students of his 1.5 grand course. But has no time to comment on a real question. Do not want to be rude or anything like that. No, you're not being rude, of course, or anything like that. But this is getting to be systematic, okay? I mean, if you want to really help and teach, try to delve deeper and answer the relevant questions, okay? There is more to dropshipping on Amazon right now. Nevertheless, your free videos are more than anyone discloses for. Okay. So, yeah.
What question did you miss, Naeem?
I don't even know how to answer this one. So let me ask you, sir, and I don't see your name, I just see Facebook user, so I don't even know who you are. But let me ask you how much you've paid for all of this free information that Eva has provided, and I think we're looking at thousands of hours now over the years, and myself thousands of hours. Hundreds of videos that we've provided. How much exactly did you pay for this? Because it sounds to me like you're wanting some money back. So if you've paid for this, I will happily give you your money back. But it most likely is you're just free. You're just taking all this stuff in for free, and you're complaining about the content that we're delivering, that we're not going into detail enough, and we're not spending enough time with you specifically and your questions. So without sounding like an asshole, listen, you're not paying me to consult. I don't owe you anything, and I'm sorry to be so blunt, guys, but I got a lot of this kind of stuff. This is common to a lot of people who take a leadership position online. And I think a dose of reality, a splash of reality sometimes is called for. So I'm just going to say it like it is. And I usually, I don't like to hold back. So you're not paying us squat. We are giving you as much information as you would probably pay for somebody. You're admitting yourself that we are giving more information than anybody else out there. And then on top of that, you're complaining about it. So I'm sorry, buddy. I don't have a lot of sympathy for you, okay? You're telling me that I'm not spending enough time on you and your specific questions. Yeah, I can't really help you with that.
But here's another point that I would like to make, though. If you really had a question, you should have asked the question, because now you wasted time. And if you really had a question that wasn't answered, perhaps because it was missed, you wasted time on writing up a saga like that. Again, like Naeem said, we're giving this for free to you guys. And, so if you have a legitimate question, ask instead of complain. That's all. That's my soapbox I'm going to step off of.
Eva's nice about it.
Yes.
Eva's nice about it, which is why I love her. I'm not. I'm an asshole sometimes, and I admit it, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So here's the bottom line, guys. And I say this, in previous videos. Nobody is responsible for your success except you. If you don't get the answer, go out and find the damn answer. Okay?
That's what we did.
Nobody was there for us. Yeah.
Naeem, did anyone train us?
There was no drop shipping manual when we started, and we paid hundreds of thousands of dollars in learning, in losses.
Yes.
And we're not sitting here crying about it. So If you're smart, okay, and I hope you are, you probably are because you're in the group and you're trying to learn, okay,
Yeah.
then you don't take this as a criticism and as a personal attack, but you take this as an opportunity to say, shit, maybe
Exactly.
Naeem is right, maybe Eva's right.
Yeah.
I need to step up my game, and if they're not catering and babying to my answers for me, maybe I need to move my ass and ask. And you know how you get answers? You help other people and you answer questions that you already know, and people will answer questions to you.
Yeah.
You and I are not responsible for 10,000 people who are, looking for information. We're only responsible to share the best way that we can. We can't answer everybody's question, but we try to answer where we can.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And if you don't like it, pay for a course. You don't have to pay for mine. You don't have to pay for Eva's. There's a lot of gurus out there. Just pay for a course. I guarantee you'll get what you're looking for. Okay? So this is not a sales pitch. This is hopefully an encouragement and, an opportunity to learn. All right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. A couple of other comments. Arlene has commented they can't expect everything for free. Well, Arlene, I guess some people do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Imran had a good question, though.
He has a good question, and then Arlene's follow-up is you two definitely give more than is expected for free.
Oh,
thank you,
Arlene.
We appreciate that. Okay, so Imran has a question. Please share how to get quicker FBA sales on maturity without being the lowest cost.
Can I answer that?
Absolutely.
Lower your find products that have 50,000 or below BSR. Simple. That's it.
Yeah.
If your products are not selling, your BSR is too high.
Yeah.
So that's my answer on that. Naeem, you have anything else to add to that? Because that is.
Yeah, you have two things in that sentence, which is quicker FBA sales and without being the lowest cost. And to me, those are like kind of in opposition. If you're not the lowest cost, not the lowest cost, but amongst the lowest cost price, it's going to be harder to sell because it is based on price, one of the metrics.
Yeah.
So again, don't worry about the profit at this point. Just get it out the door. And you're talking about what, a couple of $1,000s in the 90 days? Probably less. That's the cost of, again, the 90 days of investment that you need to do so that at the end of it, Amazon looks at your account and says, this is a serious account. This is an account that has sold a couple of 100 units. And so now they can go ahead and drop ship.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. Okay. Arsalan Raja says, sorry for this person who's asking so ignorant question. I have learned a lot from you. Thank you. Well, we appreciate that, Arsalan. And again, guys, I'm not trying to pick on that one person.
No.
That one person is representative of, unfortunately, many new entrepreneurs, many new sellers who get into the game thinking that if I just join a group, I'm going to learn everything and I should become a millionaire in 90 days. And why aren't they giving me all the answers? So you have to get off that mindset. Nobody will enable your success except you.
Right, but the other thing I want to mention here is the videos that Naeem and I have made and shared in this group. There are so many videos, step by step, how to do everything, including sourcing and basically just everything that you can start with. And we had so many students that took action on all of those steps. And without actually joining our beta course, right, Naeem? And they started making money.
Absolutely.
They started selling without any issues. So, and it's not because, and it's because they watched those videos, and it's not because they kept coming to us or anything like that. They watched those videos and took action.
So again, guys, our mission, Eva and I, and my mission, Eva and my mission, guys, is to share as much knowledge as possible.
Yeah.
We can't share everything. It's just not possible. But
no.
to share, because we're learning every day too.
Yes.
Is to share as much as possible to help as many people as possible. And that's what we do with our big group. And there, like Eva said, there are people who are watching that and making money, okay? Now, yes, we do have a premium paid course. And yes, it does cost $1,500. But that is something for those people who have the resources, who have the money, who have the time, who want to sit and say, give me an express route, show me exactly how to do it step by step, and spend time with me, okay? So that's a very limited amount of people. So
Yep.
the free stuff is out there for anybody to start, and people are watching it and, making money.
Yep.
Okay, thank you, Alicia. Alicia
Yes.
made another comment. You've provided more than enough information for free to get started drop shipping. You need to take action and ask questions. Simple. Absolutely, absolutely. So again, going back to the other person, I kind of feel bad now a little bit.
I know.
Again, I hope you don't take it as a criticism. I hope
Right.
you take it as a kick in the pants, which sometimes I need. Sometimes sellers need to just get off the chair and take action and start running.
But I want to say one more thing. So next week, or at next opportunity, there is a live. Ask that question that you had. You said you didn't get an answer on. That's what I would do.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Because clearly we're answering all the questions here. So if
Right.
you have a question that you haven't received an answer for, this is the opportunity to ask instead of bitching about it. There.
Now you're
I
getting
said-
Eva upset. We don't want that.
No, I'm not upset. I'm just making a statement that, it's like
Absolutely.
use the opportunity that is there for the
totally.
right purpose. That's all.
Totally. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Hey, thank you so much. As always, please share
Yeah.
this with your friends, with your network. Hit the subscribe if you're watching it on YouTube, and the like, and all that other good stuff. Like it, love it, hug it, kiss it,
Yes.
whatever you want to do. Okay, we appreciate that. Just get the good word out. Again, we are the fastest growing drop shipping group on the planet, and we're looking forward to continue to bring you tons of more free stuff, not one-on-one, but for the community.
Yes.
And if you have suggestions, we don't have all the answers, but we'll try to get the answers. If you have suggestions on something specific, just offer it as a suggestion, and we will definitely try to cover it.
Yeah.
And you guys have a great day. Go sell something.
That's right. Bye.
Bye.